Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. We have a very special guest in the studio with us today, and she does a number of things, wears a number of hats. First of all, she is the founder of Cathy Holloway Hill Enterprises, which is a personal and professional development organization. She is a talk show host, has been with WHMB TV 40 for, I believe, 5 years now?
5 years.
5 years on the Living by Design show. You see it every Sunday at 6 p.m. here on TV 40. And she is also the author of a new book called Secret Betrayal, How to Heal Female Rivalries. Welcome, Cathy Holloway Hill, to Inside Indy.
Oh, Kelly, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you here. And we've been trying to connect. I've actually had a chance to appear on your show,
Yes.
and so we had to return the favor.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you have this book out.
Yes.
That
My third book.
This is your third? I did not know that.
Yes.
3 books.
Yes.
What were the other 2?
Well, the
about?
first one, Emotional Bailout, and then the second one was Lies, Love, and Life.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Secret Betrayal and the rivalries of women.
Well, can you believe that,
I
Kelly?
can't imagine that happening.
Can't imagine. Well, I've always wanted to write this book because this topic is something that I see all the time. Frenemies is the word that I like to use.
Frenemies, okay.
Frenemies. Now, the Housewives of fill in the blank is a multi-billion-dollar franchise for a reason. Because the media, society is promoting all of this female catfighting and contention and hate and gossip and backstabbing and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So our women, our young girls, they see that and they learn from that. They also learn from a very early age whether to value or devalue themselves. And these types of influences such as that, influences such as the people in their lives, whether they're in a dysfunctional family and they hear their mother doing this, talking to one friend about another friend. Because if you talk to your friend about someone else, then it's going to happen to you eventually. So the whole concept behind writing this book was so that females can, sometimes they don't realize they're doing it, so that females can understand that they are judging someone. We'll walk in a room and we'll see women. Unknowingly, we will assess her, look her up and down, and make judgments about her. What she's wearing. Is she married or not? Look at her finger to see if she has a significant other. And depending on what that is...
And I did notice the rocks on your fingers, by the way. But I wasn't thinking anything negative. I thought, wow, they're drop dead gorgeous. And a set on each hand, I might add. But go ahead.
But that's, I'm glad you said that, Kelly, because sometimes you can be the culprit or you can be the recipient. So a lot of times women don't always, I don't like to say all, a lot of women do the judging. But then there's also some women who are the ones being judged. Because I can remember many times being on stage and doing empowerment seminars and empowerment workshops and trying to get the women worked up. And, you know, we're here to be empowered and we're here to discover our passion. And they're kind of looking at me like,
who's she? What's she doing? What's she trying to tell me? Yeah. Who are you
And I'm getting I'm getting the up and down, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So they're making these judgments in their head based on tons of factors. Maybe the rings.
So is
maybe they're thinking, who does she think she is? I mean, she's got these diamond rings on, so what does she know about struggle? How is she going to tell us how to improve our lives? She doesn't know anything about struggle, but I do.
I'm going to share a story with you. Years ago, it was out on the West Side, and Angela Kane, remember Angela Kane from, was she at Channel 6 or Channel 13?
13.
And Angela was the guest speaker. And I was sitting at the table with these women, and you know, and she's a news anchor.
Yes.
So she gets up there, and I could just see the looks on the women's faces at the table.
Yes.
We're like, I don't know if it's jealousy, but they just had a little attitude. And Angela got up there and she started speaking and she opened with a song. And I mean, sister tore it up. By the time she was done, though, all the women at the table were they did a standing ovation. They were just, so I don't know, it started off their attitude, but she did change their minds.
Yes.
But what is that? Why do we do that? What's going on there where you have this judgmental attitude or negative attitude?
It's again, it's how we are. It has everything to do with how we start out in life as a child. If we are in a dysfunctional family, or if our friends are teasing us or bullying us, then we have this assessment of ourselves, whether we're valuable or we're not valuable. It affects our self-esteem. So when we see in other women, and unfortunately, society teaches us to look at the outer appearance to value ourselves. So if we see in other females what we don't have in ourselves, maybe I'm overweight and she's not. Maybe I'm short and I want to be tall and she is, or whatever the case may be. That's where the envy comes in.
Okay. Yeah, and so you're basically saying it's a lack of self-esteem.
Absolutely.
It's a lack of confidence on her part when she's. And that's a really good point, because I've found myself sometimes, whether it's like you said, you'll see somebody, maybe there's really thin, and the temptation is you'll think, and I think a lot of people do this. Oh, she thinks she's that. Well, I don't really know. And I tell myself, I don't know what she thinks. She could be thinking, oh, my dog just died this morning.
Right.
She may not be thinking anything. But you have to catch yourself when you're tempted with that and say, I don't really know that. You have to talk yourself out of it, I guess.
Right. And that example I used when I was on stage and I was looking out at these women and they've had these looks on their faces like, and I could tell that they were judging me. Yeah. So I immediately went into my transparency mode and I started talking about my struggles. I started talking about my dysfunctional childhood, my abusive marriage, and then I could just see the look start to, like
Not
you said.
Your current marriage.
No.
A previous marriage.
Not my current marriage. Yeah, my first marriage, which was very abusive, psychologically, emotionally, physically, and I started talking about that. And when I started doing that, see, people don't care who you are, how much you know, until they know how much you care. And so that kind of brought them in, and that allowed them to see me as a real person, someone who bleeds just like they do, someone who's been through struggles like they do. They see your glory, but they don't know your story. And they don't give you a chance until they hear you say that, and I could just see the looks on their faces change.
And you make a very good point about jealousy and envy, which is what they're experiencing there. Is, for example, let's even take a figure like Beyonce, okay? Oh. And you might say, oh, she's so pretty, she's a dancer and all that. And a lot of that jealousy can go away quickly when you see the work that goes into it. And like, as you said, you were sharing with the audience your trials and tribulations. So as soon as she opens up, like, oh, when I was 12 years old and I was dancing and, till I almost passed out. And people go, oh, when they see the work behind it, that kind of kills the jealousy, because that's the reality, and they might go,
not all the time.
I don't really want that after all, because
not all the time.
Yeah, no.
Because if your self-esteem is so low, and you have no clue what your purpose is, that has a lot to do with it. People who know why they are on this earth, people who know what they're passionate about, what their purpose is, they don't have that issue. Not so much. Right. Because they're just kind of floating through life. So, all the toxic emotions that they've experienced from their life experiences, all the things they've been through. See, if you don't transform based on the life experiences that you've had, because it comes to us for a reason, to make us better, not bitter. So if you don't transform, you transfer. Okay. You transfer those toxic emotions to others.
Yeah. Let's talk about transference, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yep.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about transference and beyond with Cathy Holloway Hill after this.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
If you or a parent or a grandparent has a house that they are looking to sell, please consider selling it to Habitat for Missions. We'll provide a cash offer, no responsibility to fix the place up before it can be sold. Leave all of that to us and put our volunteers to work there, fix it up, renovate it, restore it, and sell it with the idea of donating 90% of the profit to Christian Mission.
I sold my house to Habitat for Missions.
We sold our house to Habitat for Missions.
And just remember, 90% of the house sale profit goes to Christian ministries. Sell your house to Habitat for Missions and help us change our world.
And we're back here on Inside Indy talking to Cathy Holloway Hill, who is the author of Secret Betrayal: How to Heal Female Rivalries. And we were talking about transference, and again, that is what?
When we hold on to the toxic emotions that we get from our life experiences, when we don't understand that life experiences, even though it's painful, we can either decide whether we want that pain to be our power or our pity. So a lot of times we allow that pain to stay inside of us. So we don't transform from the lesson that came with it. So because we don't transform, we transfer those toxic emotions to other people, other women, typically.
Okay.
And we see in them what we want, so that's when the envy and the gossip and all of those toxic things start to happen. And we need to learn how to collaborate instead of competing with each other, because we're the mother of mankind. And there is a lot of power that women possess, and if we come together and combine that power in a collaboration, because there's so much celebration in collaboration, but we can't experience it because we don't understand it.
Okay. I got a question for you from your book.
Yes.
What do men think? That's in chapter 12.
I thank you, Kelly, for saying that, because from my research, because I did a lot of research before I wrote that book, that is up there in the number 1 and 2 reasons why women envy, gossip, backstab, and do the things they do. Because they feel like the male pool is so small that they have to compete with each other. She's got a man, she's got a significant other, she has a husband, well, her husband's doing this and my husband's not doing anything, and it causes us to hate each other for that reason. So males are a huge influence and significant part of this problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, men.
Okay. That's, I agree with you 100%. I believe in that as well, that a lot of times that's what's triggering that, you know.
Yeah, because women are taught at a young age, you get married, you have a family.
Right.
And if you don't have, you know, a potential mate to marry, and she does, I don't like her.
Yeah, or something's wrong with her, or whatever
Yes.
the perception is. Okay, pretty
Yes.
interesting. Going beyond the book some, okay, your show, Living by Design, actually started as a radio show.
It did.
On the internet.
Yes.
Tell us about that show, and you've interviewed some pretty interesting and just incredible people
Yes.
on your radio show. Tell us about that.
I've been very blessed to interview Hill Harper and Tavis Smiley, and I don't mean to name drop, but the most important, the greatest, well, I can't say the greatest because I interviewed Michelle Obama.
Oh, wow. First lady, okay.
But I have to say, my number 1 top interview that just blew my mind and made my career was Dr. Maya Angelou.
Ah, the famous poet.
Yes,
Tess.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And she is just so insightful and knowledgeable. And I hear her talk about how women need to come together and collaborate and celebrate each other. So I tried really hard to get her to talk about this topic because I know she's experienced this topic. She has seen this topic. She's probably been a target of this topic. And I was blessed to have an opportunity to interview her about that.
Wow,
about that
very
book.
topic. Okay.
Yep.
Now, my understanding is she passed when? When did she pass?
She passed away because this book has been in the works for the last several years. So the year I interviewed her, she passed away 2 months later.
So you were the very last
Yes,
person
I was
to
the very
ever
last-
interview
yes.
Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So I transcribed that audio interview into the book.
Oh, wow. So it's in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Every word out of her mouth is in there.
Really?
Yes.
Very cool. See, I didn't know that.
And
Okay.
some other celebrities I've interviewed are also in there weighing in on it because whenever I interviewed someone going forward from that point, I asked them what their thoughts were on that. So Iyanla Vanzant is in there. Soledad O'Brien is in there. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank is in there. So
Wow.
they are
Okay.
in the book also giving their weigh in.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So, and did I hear that her family, Maya Angelou's family, even did they reach out to you, or they were aware that you were the last interview of her life?
They did.
Right. Very cool. Wow. Well, we got to let Oprah know that, huh? I know she was a huge supporter of her.
To do that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Very cool. Very cool. So what's next for Cathy Holloway Hill? We've got the book, we've got the show. And you're in Ohio now, right? Did you expand into?
I am still working on Ohio and
Okay.
Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Syndication is absolutely what I want. This is my home family, WHMB. You know, I will never leave WHMB. But I do want to look at syndication and just, trying to get this message out, because when you say live by design, that means that you own your identity. You don't allow someone else, not society, not the media, not your friends, because I spent 28 years in corporate America because I had a disease to please. And that's what I was doing. I was letting someone else design my life. And that's what will happen if you don't take control and you decide, and you have to figure out what your purpose is, and you take the time to discover what that is. You got to put yourself in self-discovery mode.
Okay.
You've got to ask yourself, what makes me jump out of bed every morning? What really fuels my soul? What makes me really want if I had something that I would do for free, what would that be?
Good question. So,
Yeah.
Okay, because that was my next question, to say how does one, or at least one tip on how one finds their purpose. And so that's a good question. What would make me?
What's your hobby? Look at your hobby. What do you do for free? What do you volunteer to do?
Okay.
That's a good place to start.
Okay.
And then ask yourself, what are my values? What are my beliefs? What are my passions? What do I love to do?
Okay, very good, very good. Any other advice to our viewers before we say goodbye?
First of all, if you want to buy the book,
Okay.
please go to my website because I'm giving a discount. It's www.chollowayhill.com. And the only advice I would have is to our men, because I'm sorry, guys, you are a large part of the problem. Women are very hard on themselves. We really are. We already have a lot of low self-esteem, regardless of what we see, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Men, please do not use ladies. If you know they're looking for a husband and you're not looking for something permanent, leave them alone.
Why are you going there? Yeah.
Don't drag them out alone.
Yeah.
don't do that. Just don't be part of the problem.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
part of the healing process.
Right, yeah. Instead of the game, which that's a whole nother show.
nother show.
So we appreciate you coming by, Cathy Holloway Hill. Again, the host of the Living by Design show, which is 6 p.m. on Sundays here on WHMB TV 40, and the author of Secret Betrayal, How to Heal Female Rivalries. And I'm just so glad that you are not my rival, but my friend. Cathy, thanks so much for
Amen.
joining us.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
She is a singer-songwriter, recording artist, Emmy Award-winning talk show co-host, actress, dancer, and television personality. And, man, is there anything she can't do? It's Adrienne Houghton on the line.
Hello.
Adrienne.
Good morning, Kelly. Okay, that was one of the best intros I've ever gotten in my life.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
To me.
I appreciate it.
Talk to us about your latest project.
I've got a lot going on, just working on the reel. It's been so awesome this season and getting ready for next season, especially as Emmy Award-winning talk show host. It's been unreal, surreal, and we're just really excited for the new season that's coming up in September.
Awesome. I love it. So now you started as a singer-dancer.
Yes.
Why is dancing so near and dear to your heart?
Dancing has always been a huge part of my life. It's been a passion of mine since I was a little girl, just performing. And, dancing has gotten me through a lot of things. I always say if I'm bored, you might find me in a corner dancing. But it also has gotten me through some of the mundane things that you have to do in life, whether it's getting chores done, cleaning the house, which is why I'm super excited about teaming up with Pine Sol to launch My Clean Moves. It's a super fun contest where you just post a picture of yourself on Instagram, dancing and cleaning, and make sure that you hashtag My Clean Moves and hashtag the contest, and make sure that you have a public account so that we can check out your pictures. And guess what? You can win $5,000 and a subscription to Pandora. So this is right up my lane, right up my alley. This is what I do. I remember growing up with my family on Saturdays. My mom would be like, listen, if we're gonna clean, we're gonna have a good time while doing it. She would play salsa music, and it just made the chores go by so quickly. You'd look up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I had a good time. I got a little cardio in, and my house is clean.
And I'm with you on that, Adrienne. I do the same thing at home. I'll start working out, and then I'll say, well, why can't I get 2 or 3 things done at the same time?
Exactly.
So I'll stop and do a few things, and when you're done, it's like, wow, it's amazing how much you've gotten done and your workout in. So I'm
absolutely.
With you on that,
it definitely can make you way more productive. I use music for everything in my life. Even getting up early this morning, I'm like, put some music on, wake up, get in the groove of things. It's super helpful and helps you be productive.
Now, what music do you clean your house to?
I love Latin music because for me it's nostalgic the way I grew up. But anything that's up-tempo's got a great beat. I'm loving J Balvin right now. And I think, if I can get my groove on and dance to it, it definitely goes by a lot faster.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big Bruno Mars fan.
Yes.
And some gospel music, too, to get my praise on as
Absolutely.
well. So.
That's awesome. You're like, Lord, help me get through this right now so I can get this house nice and clean.
There you go. Now, how do people, remind us again, how people can take part in this contest to be a part of it?
So awesome. You just got to go on Instagram and, again, take a picture of yourself dancing and cleaning. Then you're going to hashtag My Clean Moves and make sure that you also hashtag contest and that you have a public profile so they can all see. But you can get all more details on pinesol.com/My Clean Moves. And to celebrate this awesome contest, Pine Sol is actually donating $25,000 to Dancers Against Cancer. It's a nonprofit dedicated to providing financial assistance to dancers, dance educators, and families that have been impacted by cancer. So this is a great cause as well, and I'm just super excited to be a part of it.
Wow, that is awesome. Just imagine helping people get healthy and to stay healthy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Adrienne, tell us, what do you want to do that you haven't done yet?
What I would love to create oh my God, I have so many plans. I would love to create a jewelry line. I just launched my YouTube channel that I'm having so much fun doing. It's called All Things Adrienne. And it's got a little bit of everything, a little entertaining, lifestyle, fashion, beauty, makeup tutorials. I'd love to launch a beauty line one day. So a lot of things hopefully in the work, fingers crossed.
All right. Well, sounds very good. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much,
about
Kelly.
this new cleaning project. I guess we have to call you the cleanup woman now.
I'm totally down for that. I love that. You know that when you come to my home, it's a nice, clean place.
All right. Adrienne Houghton, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
(150/90).
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.